In InDesign CS6, it has become easier than ever to create content for Digital Publishing Suite. For example, you can now very easily create alternate layouts from a vertical layout and turn that into a horizontal layout, almost semi-automatically. Let me show you how that works. Under File, New, Document, what we see is that we have a new defaults. For the intent, for example, we can choose for print, for web, and now also for digital publishing. And when we select digital publishing, we see that everything changes here to custom page sizes, for example, for the iPad, the iPhone, the Kindle Fire Nook, the Android 10-inch tablet, etc., etc. You can, of course, also create your own page sizes and save those as document presets. So already when creating a new document, we've made it easier to start working. Let's say cancel out of this and go back here to this document. The other thing that we notice in InDesign CS6 is the fact that we have a specific workspace for the Digital Publishing Suite. Now, this is the advanced workspace, but if we change the workspace to digital publishing, we see that we now have all of the tools necessary for creating interactivity and working for the Digital Publishing Suite. And this, of course, includes the folio overlays and the folio builder tools. Let's look at other things that make it much easier to work for Digital Publishing Suite. One of the challenges that designers have when designing for tablets or devices is that the screen resolution changes and the size of the devices change, and also the orientation. We can go from vertical, like we have here, to horizontal as the user turns his or her device. Now, in InDesign CS6, this has become much easier to deal with. The first thing I want to show you here is what we call liquid layout. Liquid layout allows us to set rules for page elements so that they transform as we wish them to do when the orientation or the size of the document actually changes. Let me show you. First of all, let's use the Page tool. And once the Page tool is selected in InDesign CS6, you will see that we have these little handles on the side of the page. And that actually allows us to move the page around and to check how the page will actually react to different sizes, manually checking how elements move. And you can see that some of the elements on that page actually do move. As soon as I let go, the size of the page snaps back to its original. Now, let's use these liquid layout tools for a second. And as I select objects on the page, for example here, the logo, we see that we have a whole bunch of little dots here that signify that this logo here is pinned to the sides of the page. We see that it is pinned to the top of the page and to the right of the page. So we see it's pinned here and pinned here. So that means that when I change the size of the page, that logo moves accordingly. Another thing that I can do here, of course, is select this frame here where we have the image of the model for the cover and choose Auto Fit and see what happens now. As I change the size of the page, the image will actually auto fit in the area that I have set in the document. And the same thing we've done here with the title here, Alice Ritter, and this is now pinned to the bottom and to the left. This is why it moves in that corner. So basically what this allows us to do, and there's various ways that we can actually apply liquid page rules. This one here is called object-based, but we see here in the menu that we can also use a scaling page rule, a recentering, simply recentering the objects on the page as the page gets bigger, object-based, and also guide-based. Let's click out of here. Another thing that we can do, and let me just show you some other pages here that we have where we may have also other rules applied. Here we see that the object is pinned at the top. This object here is pinned on both sides and at the bottom. Let's move on and check out the other pages. And let's select this object up here and change the liquid page rule to object-based and pin it to the top. It's as easy as that. Or if you don't want to use the liquid layout panel here, you can also click on the little icons here and actually use these icons here to pin the object on the page. All right, so the second part of that story, of course, is that now that we've been working on the vertical document, we now need to create the horizontal document of the same exact InDesign layout. To do that, we will go here over to my Pages panel. What we can do here in the Pages panel is simply go here to the Flyout menu and create an alternate layout. InDesign will see that the original page size is actually the one for the iPad, and what I can do is create the horizontal version of that same layout from the pages that are these vertical ones, which become the source for my document. I can also choose to use the liquid page rules that I have created in the document. I can preserve the existing page rules or use others that I've just shown you. But I can also ask InDesign to link stories and to copy text styles, which includes the paragraph styles and the character styles, into a new folder so that we can independently change the styles for the vertical version of the document and the horizontal. So this is also something very, very useful. So let's just click OK and see what happens. Here we go. InDesign automatically created in the same Pages panel, basically in the same exact InDesign document, another version of that layout. Let's check them out. There is actually a very easy way to view these pages side by side here in my document window. If you go here to the alternate layout flyout menu, what I can do is split window to compare layouts, so that I have on one side my vertical layout and on the other side my horizontal layout. So I can go from one page to the other and check out exactly how my page rules have been applied to the layout. Let me just go here to the second page. We see that this here, for example, is a layout that has been automatically created, but of course there is nothing that blocks me from then moving in here and making changes manually without having to actually recreate the whole layout. So basically InDesign CS6 has made it extremely easy for me to apply these liquid page rules to the document and then create an alternate version for the horizontal format of that document. But then I could move on and create a version for a smaller tablet or larger tablets or even for other mobile devices. The last thing I wanted to show you here is that if you now go to File, Package, the new packaging in InDesign CS6 will now also package everything that is contained in interactive overlays that you create for digital publishing suite. And it will also include things such as linked InDesign document. So be assured that when you package your InDesign file, everything that you need to create your document for the digital publishing suite will actually be included in that package. And that package can then be sent over to other co-workers or customers. So as you can see, it has become easier than ever in InDesign CS6 to create interactive content for the digital publishing suite.